Did you get gossip? What's boring? So me and you gossip about that.
What's actually tell Mama? Good night.
Marriage is about commitment.
Verbal altercation, man. With some Mpho, the usual. When was this?
There we go again. Another merry-go-round conversation. You guys. All right. So we have some very interesting conversations going on in Biggie's house. And I'm going to be talking about all the conversations that went down, guys, after this housemates won their weekly wager task, aka this morning. So I'm going to be starting the story. You know how I do it. I always like to come with the full story. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. This is another review update episode of the Bbmzansi show. If you're new to this channel, please take this minute to hit on the red subscribe button to be a part of this community, and of course join the conversation as we talk about what's happening in Biggie's house. If you're already a subscriber, hey, thank you family for always coming back here to check out my videos. Guys, without further ado, I'd like to just go into the conversations that happened. Do you know how I do it? I always take it from the last conversation up to the recent one. Now, guys, literally after this housemates won their weekly wager task, the vibe was cool. There were conversations in the house. And guys, we literally saw Gashawan and Tattoo. I think it's been Tattoo's week to do the cooking. So we've seen her mostly in the kitchen, and we've always seen Gashawan always help out in the kitchen. So literally we saw the both of them having a conversation, like preparing food dinner. And guys, Gashon made this remark that made me look at him like, okay. Gashon actually said that, hey, did you get gossiped about? Don't worry. Like Gashon was referring to Tato if she was gossiped about, and if not, that she shouldn't worry that they will gossip about them. So basically, you guys know that somehow it looks like the house is in two different parts. The group for Gashon and the group against Gashon. So Gashawan and Tattoo are like in one ship, in one group, while the other housemates are in the other group. So I guess that is what Gashawan meant. I was really looking forward to see if they were going to really gossip about this other housemates, but unfortunately, I didn't even see any of that. What we saw was we actually saw this housemates have conversations. Sister Tamara, you guys, I don't know, but for some reason, Sister Mara has really been feeling kind of funny because Biggie hasn't given them a lot of cigarettes. They talked about BU, how BU used to snap when he didn't get cigarettes from Biggie. So we actually had this conversation from the housemates where they were talking literally about sexual health, and Sister Mara was just the lead speaker, and she literally talked about health. What was that word she used again? I think he said something about sex health is not really about getting pregnant and all that. So there's some nasty conversations. I didn't really pay attention to some of them. You guys, after that episode, we actually saw Terry, get ready to go to bed on the summer nights. You guys know that for some days now, Terry has been sleeping alone. And, because Libo has finally executed his task, which is stealing all the housemates' favorite items, he is literally back upstairs with Terry. So we actually saw Terry, give Sister Mara this serious, I don't know what to call it, bomb grabbing. It really looked funny, but you guys know Terry will always be Terry was just being nasty, and it was just Sister Mara screaming and saying, oh, whatever, Terry, this guy's, they will kill me. We just saw them Terry have that little episode with Sister Mara, and then they moved upstairs and it was Terry and Libo, just back to the normal mood. They really weren't talking about anything heavy. You guys, previously, Terry had just given Libo some jabs, confronted him, called him out for his attitude. I mean, these guys are literally besties, so I didn't really see that as heavy. I didn't see that as any heavy conversation. We literally saw them together, hanging out in the summer nights. These guys are literally the only people, the summer day rather, they are literally the only housemates that are sleeping in the summer day, while the rest of the housemates have all gone downstairs. So guys, afterwards, we actually saw the Lovebirds in bed, and they went ahead talking about their marriage conversations. You guys know it's just been a regular thing. Every single night they talk about marriage. So I think earlier they had talked about trust in relationships and cheating and all that. And Tato has always stood with the opinion that it's not a mistake to cheat. Something they were talking about trust and all that. Guys, there wasn't any heavy conversation. Gashawan was just all over Tattoo as usual. It was just the usual merry-go-round love foreplay and all that. Guys, literally, the conversation literally kind of started today because I mean there was just this conversation between Libo and Tulz, and it was literally Libo that helped us understand that there was an altercation between him and Mpho, and he was just sharing those moments with Tulz, and literally Tulz had to ask like, really, how, when did that happen? And Libo was explaining that just a couple of minutes ago that he went over to have a conversation with Mpho, and unfortunately, it went back to be verbal. Their verbal, it got loud. They're always having that verbal confrontation with each other. And then Libo was like, what ticked him off is the fact that Bo is always pointing out the fact that one of the reasons why he's still in the house, one of the reasons why he's where he is in the game is because of her influence. So for Libo, he felt insulted that Mpho would keep on talking about that Libo is constantly using her to shine, for the audience and all that for the game. You guys, I don't know if you know the story, but I think Mpho has said this a couple of times before now. I mean, and I think there is a reason why Mpho keeps on talking about this and why Libo and Mpho are always having this challenge. You guys remember there was a time when Mpho said she didn't want to talk to Libo anymore, blah blah blah. It was one of those times when Mpho was always up for nomination, and for some reason, Libo was just talking. They were talking about their relationship, and Mpho says she wants to play the game alone. She doesn't want to play it with Libo. And Libo kept on saying something about the audience might like their relationship, might like their, what they have, might like their ship. And he feels like it's going to be a great strategy if they are both together. And so literally we heard Libo share that information even with Biggie. We also heard Mpho also shared the information that she feels like Libo is using her to play a game, and well, if he's ready to play a game, that she's a better player. I mean, guys, this conversation has a history. For some of us who are regular viewers of the show, we actually know this is not new. Libo wanted and has always wanted to use the relationship thing as one of his strategy to play the game. Unfortunately, I think Mpho spotted that and didn't. I don't know, but there's always been a conversation about relationship and no relationship. I'm just saying it the way it has always been with these two. So it was, but I know for some reason, Mpho has actually dragged this more than she should drag it. And I think that is why it's actually getting on the nerves of Libo, because we actually heard him say that the narrative kind of pisses him off, that why Mpho would always think and feel that the whatever they're doing is because he feels that she feels that he's using her, to shine, to woo the audience, to get into his game properly. Guys, that was just basically the conversation. There was really no heavy conversation. It was just Libo just giving tools the heads on the situationship he and Mpho are already in, that we even know already. And guys, one of the things that Libo said that will happen henceforth is that he said that he feels he's going to be staying away from Mpho. Guys, I'm just going to play a short clip so you hear it for yourselves. Yeah, so listen up, guys.
Audience is watching, so I move differently. That's paranoia. I decided we just stay away from each other.
So, guys, of course, with this statement from Libo, we now currently understand the stand. I don't know, but these guys have been going back and forth. To hear them say this, and later they get back to talking. Like, I don't know, but there's just some unexplained chemistry that is really going on between Mpho and Libo. And I don't think anybody's going to help them figure it out if they can't figure it out for themselves. Guys, what do you guys have to say about Libo and Mpho's situationship? Because I am literally tired of this monotonous conversation. Like, literally, it's the same conversation, always done repeatedly in different times with different people. It has always been a merry-go-round when it comes to Libo and Mpho's relationship. It's always the same story. There's no different thing. I mean, and I just feel it's boring. Libo should just move ahead already. He should already just forget about the Mpho thing. I mean, he has been the one shooting himself on the leg. He's told Biggie that the females in the house, are formidable. I mean, maybe he has actually shared some very important or sensitive information with Mpho that is actually making Mpho suspect him that he's using her to play a game. What do you guys have to say about this, guys? I'm just laying it the way it was shared earlier, guys. Share your thoughts in the comment section. For now, I think this will be it. This is literally everything that has been going down so far. These guys are going in for their diary session. You guys know it's also the weekend. We're expecting some fun to happen, and we're also expecting the Friday Arena games. I'll be back here to give you guys more gist on what's up in Biggie's house. I'm also sorry that I'm doing the audio versions, guys. It's been very inconveniencing for me to do a lot of things as I'm multitasking. So you guys, I hope you understand why these audio versions have to come. I mean, it's better I do this than do nothing. Guys, I'm gonna see you all in another episode of Personality Highlights. Thank you so much for your watch time, and guys, ciao ciao.